Corporate social responsibility is a type of international private business self-regulations that aim to contribute to societal goals of philanthropic activities or charitable nature by engaging in or supporting volunteering or ethically oriented practices. Based on University of Edinburgh, corporate social responsibility is a way of ensuring that organizations make strategic decisions in an ethical, sustainable, and responsible way. Google LLC is an American multinational technology company that specializes in internet-related services and products, which include online advertising technologies, a search engine, cloud computing, software, and hardware. So, this is the founder of Google, Larry Page and Sergey Brin. There are 4 levels of CSR, which are academic, legal, ethical, and philanthropic. Google is categorized as philanthropic responsibility, which is responsibility to give back to the society. It involves donating funds, goods, or services to another organization or cause.
Google is accepted globally as a company with top reputation for the products and services provided. It will be hard to find an organization that epitomizes the corporate social responsibility of companies more than Google does. Since its inception in 1998, the company has continued to roll out apps that make life and business easier. Innovations include Gmail, Google Drive, Google Earth, and of course, the company's pioneering search engine. The Reputation Institute, now known as RepTrak, is one of the many organizations that recognizes Google for its tech innovation and its commitment to corporate social responsibility. The institute measures the corporate social responsibility of companies using a ranking system. In 2015, the Reputation Institute ranked Google number 1 for global corporate social responsibility, beating Microsoft and Walt Disney. Based on an article in Forbes written by Susan Adams, other than the strength and ubiquity of Google's product, most people believe the company is good to its workers. It is important to people to think that a company treats its employees well, says the executive partner and co-founder of Reputation Institute, Nielsen. What about domestically? Is Google accepted in Malaysia? In 2011, Google opened an office in Kuala Lumpur, the heart of Malaysia. According to an article by Tech in Asia website, Google Southeast Asia chief Julian Prasad said Malaysia has one of the highest percentages of usage at Google's web browser, Chrome, in Asia Pacific, together with 70 million internet users from a population of 27 million. Furthermore, reviews by Malaysians who work or once worked for Google all compliments the positive environment by the company. It is no surprise that Google are one of the desirable places to work for creative and innovative people. One of the reviewers, who is a former employee, stated that the Google company provide a stress-free environment as well as a free meal and short breaks during working hours. Clearly, Google is a company with great reputation domestically and internationally. Obstacles and controversies arise in big companies, and Google is no exception. There are controversies encountered by Google itself in their CSR activities. One of many is about Google's workplace. It is said before that the employees are one of the stakeholders for the company. Although Google is known for their positive environment workplace, issues such as gender discrimination and sexual harassment happens. According to an article by TRT World, thousands of Google employees around the world briefly walked out in November 2018 to protest the company's response to sexual harassment and demand that the world's largest search engine address rising concerns about workplace inequality. The protest, which drew Google contract workers as well as employees, happened because New York Times published a report that in 2014, Google gave a $90 million US exit package to former senior vice president Andy Rubin after he was accused of sexual harassment.
Google is known as being a leading technology brand. It is also known for its good image in the field of HR. It has been ranked one of the best places to work for several years continuously. The company has rapidly become a leading internet technology firm with a wide array of products and services for billions of people on the earth to live better. The humanitarian activities of Google are also known. So far, a substantial amount and resources have been invested in such activities. It devotes resources to make life better in America and overseas, from education to jobs and many more. Google is known as being a leading technology brand. It is also known for Google research and innovation. Is not limited to product development, but it is intended to provide solutions to major social and economic issues. Google also shows significant focus on the field of sustainability, apart from corporate social responsibility in the area of international business. The importance of sustainability has increased considerably. In addition to the government, law firms and surveillance agencies, society has also become more careful about the environmental impact of enterprise. This makes technology giants more sustainable in their products and processes. Some help others to achieve their sustainable goals with donations and resources. The first corporate social responsibility activities that Google does care about is education and learning. Education and learning are one of the primary focus areas of Google's CSR activity for the unprivileged and underrepresented. The search giant devotes their technological resources to helping thousands of people to find better education and careers. It has invested around $50 million to help children and people in disadvantaged and marginalized communities in various parts of the world. This funding is designed to fill the study gaps and to prepare children for future jobs. Next is joblessness and poverty. Other than education and learning, Google also invests in projects and non-profit institutions that improve the conditions of employment. It invests funds and technology to help people find the right opportunities and prepare them for the increasing number of information technology jobs. In 2011, Google has donated approximately $1.5 million to Code for America. The project, whose main objective is to match job opportunities. Google.org provide funding and Google volunteers in the next 2 years to help Code for America develop and to develop new technologies that can connect 30,000 job seekers to support training and job search. Racial justice and empowerment are some of Google's CSR activities. Google tries to deal with racial discrimination and other major social issues with funds and resources. It devotes its resources to helping people who have been marginalized or discriminated. Google aims to promote equity and integration into the American system, which is currently characterized by a high level of racial preference. Colorful people in American society face very serious discrimination. In addition, one of every 3 black men can expect to be jailed once in a lifetime on the basis of data and research. In 2020, the CEO of Google and Alphabet, Sundar Pichai, said that as a company, Google is engaged in translating the energy of the moment into a lasting change as individuals who came to build products for everyone. Google also announced a number of concrete commitments to move forward. Internal sustainable equity building for Black Plus community of Google, and externally helping Black users find Google products and programs most importantly. So Google boosts sustainable equity. There are 5 of them. The first one is Google trying to working to improve Black Plus representations at senior levels and committing to a goal to improve leadership representations of underrepresented groups by 30% by 2035. Other than that, Google will do more to address representation challenge and focus on hiring, retention, and promotions at all levels. Next is Google is also working to create a stronger sense of inclusion and belonging for Googlers in general and the Black Plus community in particular. report is Google will establish a range of anti-racism educational programs that are global in view and able to scale to all Googlers. Lastly, Google is focused on better supporting the mental and physical health and well-being of the Black community. The impact of Google CSR on shareholders. Employees are Google stakeholders. Second, priorities. Employees want adequate compensations and rewarding work experience for the company. Many employees want to work for Google. For example, it is because it is considered one of the best companies to work for. The stakeholder group is important as it defines the capability of the company, including the ability to quickly innovate. Google CSR efforts focus as a major stakeholder group on the interests of its employees through competitive pay and fun workplace design. High wages, various incentives and benefits like free food and flexible working flows are part of the company compensation strategy. Google facilities are also fun place to work where people can practice, play games and share ideas. In addition, through the Google Supplies Code, the company addresses indirectly the working conditions of the supplier's employees, covering the concerns regarding occupational health and safety and employment practice. Other than that, its advertiser and other customers. The success of Google is founded on the ability of the CSR company to meet its clients and other stakeholder needs. Advertisers are the main source of the company revenues. The stakeholder want effective service such as effective online publicity campaign. Important stakeholder groups are advertisers and other customers as they decide on Google financial performance directly. Google CSR efforts are based on the priority of Google advertisers and customers. As noted, it is popular for the company to prioritize the stakeholder group. This priority can increase the reach and efficiency of the company market. Advertisers and other clients therefore enjoy the service of the company more. The holistic CSR efforts of Google meet the interests of the advertising, stakeholder groups and other customers.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is ZULAIKHA. Today I'll be presenting about what does corporate social responsibility (CSR) have on Google's business performance. Google, despite being one of the largest corporations in the world, Google is an excellent example of a business that is constantly working for the betterment of society. In addition to various other CSR initiatives, the company has implemented a widely successful environmental policy called Google Green, which is a corporate effort to use resources more efficiently and support renewable energy sources. It has led to an overall reduction in power requirements for the data centers by 50%. Moving on to what customers want. Consumers, of course, want to do business with a company they can trust. Due to this, it is now commonplace for a business to have a sustainability report and various CSR initiatives in place. In order to remain competitive in today's marketplace, which is only growing more interwoven with social and environmental issues, businesses must practice corporate social responsibility. Google's decision on CSR. As more people became more socially conscious, they would want to invest their time and money on companies that are more socially and environmentally responsible. Google took this seriously and focused more on implementing CSR initiatives. Google's efforts in implementing CSR initiatives are divided into many stakeholders in whom they consider very important and carry a large impact towards the company. Implementing such CSR initiatives brought in more interest in Google as a company among users, employees, and advertisers, thus ultimately boosting Google's business performance. As you can see here, RepTrak, formerly known as Reputation Institute, is a company that publishes reports on the reputation of companies based on the media coverage and consumer surveys. In 2015, RepTrak sees Google as a shining example of a company that properly implements CSR through its tech innovation and commitment. Google was ranked number 1 for global corporate social responsibility. This is due to the big efforts by Google in reducing their carbon footprint. Googles have many ways in reducing their carbon footprints. One of them is by using specialized electronic controls and monitoring systems, so its data farms will produce lesser greenhouse gases. Google's efforts. In addition to providing its classic search and an array of apps to make our lives easier, Google contributes to a cleaner environment in many surprising ways. We can look into how Google has helped with these examples. Firstly, satellite services which help indigenous tribes track and sometimes prevent deforestation in their native lands. Second, groups that protect wildlife can use Google Earth to see areas threatened by logging or other industries. This gives a big boost to Google's reputation, as there are many challenges for a large company as Google to become very social and environmental friendly, thus earning the respect and positive feedbacks by consumers. Based on this statistic, we can see that Google is the most dominant search engine as of now, with a whopping 92.24% of market share amongst other such search engines. This is due to Google's sustainability and the tremendous involvement in their CSR, which led to most people wanting to use Google as it is the most environmental friendly choice among other search engines. Google's philosophy focus on the user and all else will follow has led to useful and popular products that make the business profitable and beneficial to users, customers, and investors. In addition, the firm's philosophy, "You can make money without doing evil," pushes Google to engage in CSR activities that benefit the stakeholder groups of employees and communities and satisfy regulatory requirements.
Furthermore, a Google employee's memo about diversity has gone viral, igniting a backlash and sparking a debate about gender bias. Motherboard, a name-of website, published a 10-page document written by engineer James Damore. Damore's internal memo, titled "Google's Ideological Echo Chamber," criticized the company's diversity programs and claimed that women are biologically less suited for certain tech roles than men. Google announced they had fired Damore for violating its code of conduct. One of the top female executives at Google, YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki, wrote a column criticizing the memo. Wojcicki recounted gender discrimination she has faced during her tech career. "I've had my comments frequently interrupted and my ideas ignored until they were rephrased by men. No matter how often this all happened, it still hurt." Another obstacle that Google is going through is that Google was hit with a class action lawsuit claiming privacy violations via Android apps in 2020 in an article from website Search Engine Journal. The plaintiffs allege that Google misleads users with false impressions of control over their data. The lawsuit also alleges that Google's privacy controls are fake and that Google is illegally intercepting and selling private information. The complaint alleges that an Android user cannot avoid being spied on by Google. It states that third-party apps enable Google to pry into users' most private and intimate information. The lawsuit is still ongoing to this day. Therefore, as a user, we shouldn't be too comfortable with an app and need to be cautious on where we give our information to. In conclusion, Google is known to be the first-ranked company for their commitment in corporate social responsibility throughout years. Although certain controversies involving the company might decrease the users' trust, their contribution to the society and environment ought to be appreciated. That is all from us. Thank you.